I am having a stern talk with these girls. Mostly this one here. Okay, we're gonna be playing around with this today. So here are the extremes on chrome. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Wednesday afternoon. Did not record anything the last couple days because we are finally coming out of some pretty ridiculously cold temps again. And I'm just doing my waters check. EF 431's got some nice slime. We're getting pretty close to her due date. I think she's due in 2 weeks. And she is definitely on track for that. She should have a true justice. And I am hoping, fingers crossed, it's hard with these gloves, but fingers crossed it's a bull calf. And then this is our FL 913 heifer, who I think she's due almost at the same time that Deffer is. I always call her Deffer. She's DF. And she's pretty chill cow. But yeah, so that's a heifer, and she's got a bold ruler in there. Our bedding for the cows has held up really nice. We bed them down really decent on, what was it, Saturday, I think. And then Sunday it got pretty chilly. Wasn't horrible, but it was single digits. Monday morning I think it was 10 below, 10 or 12 below. It didn't get out of the single digits. Yesterday morning I actually took a picture of my thermometer. Now it's just an old school thermometer, but that thing read 30 below. It's ridiculous. 30 below Fahrenheit. All right, so my dad spreads that out. I'll go around, check some other girls out, see where we're at. Now with the number of cows, we did get a couple extra cows in the yard. No new calves, actually, thankfully. I'm getting a little irritated with Cher. She's a week late today, but that doesn't actually shock me too much. Some full-bloods have been known to go a little bit long on their gestation compared to purebreds. So not overly concerned about that. But yeah, we'll start checking some of these guys out. It was kind of nice today. Got to listen to a couple of bull sales. The Crossroads Simmentals out of Canada, I was able to listen to their sale today. That was pretty nice. And then another nice one was the Hearts Simmentals. Always have really good bulls. Wasn't able to watch them all, but was able to listen for a good hour. It was kind of funny. I went to jump on and listen to the Crossroads one, and I think they had now granted this is Canadian money, but that's still a lot. I think it sold for like 125,000 or something. It was a red purebred. So I was just like, whoa, that's a good way to start jumping on. All right, so bringing ground feed in for some of these guys, for these calves, and I'll kind of give you a little update and show you how everybody's doing. All right, let's get some ground feed spread out, and I'll give you some updates. Alright, so this is still that 313, the mic drop bull. As you can see, he's doing very, very well. Mom's keeping him clean. She's kind of figured out her role now. I definitely like how square he is on the back. He's gonna be all right. Nobody's got jackets on anymore. These two guys, and then 313 back there. Yep, even this morning, they were a little frosty this morning, but everybody got up and was doing really, really well. I will say the last few days, I've actually been finding out kind of which ones of my cameras have been really good or pretty decent and which ones I'm not overly impressed with. The old Motos, they have their downfalls, but in this weather, they just work. Like every time I've wanted to go on them, they're on. They're a pistol to kind of connect. They're kind of a pain in the butt, but they just work. So those guys, I've actually been using them more the last 3 or 4 days than my other ones. These guys, that's the hose safe. I have this hose safe in here in the barn. So my one downside of the hose safe in the barn is, I think I mentioned it, it's kind of like you're zoomed in. It's too close. It's not the fault of the camera. It's the fault of the fact that, it's so close in here. If you were 3 feet higher, it's not a big deal. Like the one out here is really nice for viewing out here. So that one I do not have any complaints about outside. In here, it's not the greatest. And then I did hook up that YZ camera, just because I wanted to try it. I just had a bug to give it a whirl. So I got one, and it had been working really decent. But when it gets cold, like below 0 temps, it gets a little finicky. And right now I'm actually power cycling it because it's been off for the last 2 days. The hose safe, the one outside shut off on me and it wouldn't reconnect. And that's the first time that's happened. I power cycled it yesterday, reconnected, no big deal. That one's been really decent. I don't talk about it too much. The one I hooked up last year is a deco right on the corner. You might be able to just see it. The last couple days with the cold temps, I've actually been really impressed with it. Because I go on it, I connect to it, I pan around, it does everything it needs to do, and it's freaking like below 0 outside. So that one's been pretty good. And the solar one, not too bad. I didn't have super high expectations for it, only because I am still on the verge, right on the edge of my Wi-Fi signal. And I don't go on that one very often. I only go on it a couple times a day, and that's about it. So might still be doing a little bit of changing around in the barn. I think that YZ, I'm probably gonna take that one out. And I've thought about taking that hose safe that's in the barn and switching it out with that deco. Just seeing how that deco does inside the barn versus the hose safe. And then that hose safe will kind of be like this other one that's outside, and just go where it's going to excel a little bit. Hey, how's it going? All right, Thursday afternoon, and I am having a stern talk with these girls. Mostly this one here. Okay, we're going to be playing around with this today. Dad surprised me with getting me one of these net wrap slicers, for cutting the net wrap. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I've seen a couple other guys use them. He couldn't remember what site he got it from, but it came with some blades and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna try her out today. I told him we probably need to keep saving some of our net wrap bales because they will keep a little nicer than our regular bales. But today we're gonna do a net wrap bale just to test this guy out. And honestly, I'm gonna try this on our twine bales as well, because it should be pretty decent. All right, so let's get the gates all opened up and let's do some feeding. I think the bucket is on, which means corn silage to start. Having this bale slicer will also save on my own knife, which I end up having to sharpen like once a week. So Dad's going to get a bale and we're gonna give this thing a whirl. Never used one of these before, so see how it goes. I mean, it's really just a knife on a stick, but you know, trust me, I can screw up a lot of things. Trust me, it's happened before. But let's see how it goes. And then we do need a bale up in the barn, and I think we'll just grab one of our regular string bales, and then I'll try this on one of those, because what we're gonna do is we're going to cut the strings and we're actually gonna pop the shell off out here. That's like too easy. So that worked really, really well. It's like it was meant to do that or something. I will enjoy using that. And then it's got a little hook on the backside so you can hook the net wrap and start pulling. Net wrap is the future for us. I am not concerned when it comes to snow and ice and all that stuff. Not gonna be worried about it next year or the year after. We always do kind of pop this shell regardless whether the shell was good or not. We always kind of take that first couple inches off. One, force of habit. Two, it kind of gets these guys eating on something and lets us work by the feeders without having to worry about them just kind of hounding us right around the feeder. And some of them just like to eat this way, so it spreads them out a little more. All right, Dad's gonna grab another bale, this time with twine on it, and we're gonna give it a whirl with that. Similar results, but then I have to go and pick all the strings out, so you'll, we'll see what the difference is. All right, so that wasn't too bad. It was about what I expected. You know, just using, not as much using the knife in a straight cut like you would on the net. So not just because of this, I definitely am becoming a fan of the net wrap. Because when you do cut those strings, then you gotta sit there and you gotta pick and pull, pick and pull, pick and pull. Because even if they're not frozen to the bottom, they're gonna be stuck to the bottom, and it's just the net just makes it so much easier. Hey, how's it going? Happy Friday. And I am going to again have a conversation with these cows, because we did not have any calves and it's really nice weather out. I saw that Andrea That Fit Advocate. So again, they have some of our cows that they had purchased a few years ago as feeders and kept a few of them as replacements, breeding cows, and one of them that they really like had a nice reserve bull calf, the Genex reserve bull calf, but she was a little annoyed that there was no chrome. I understand. There are some that we have had that it's like, why do you not have chrome? Like those mic drop heifers, both mic drop heifers, not a speck of chrome on them. There might be a little white on their belly or something, but you would think there'd be chrome all over it, because then you look at that one mic drop steer we have that could almost, besides the fact that he actually looks like a beef animal, he could pass as a Holstein because there's so much chrome. So, you know, I feel the pain, but it does look like a really nice little bull calf, and looked like mom was, in the little video clips, looked like mom was going right at it, doing a good job. So that's just neat to see that animals that came from our farm are out there producing good calves. So, and doing it with good temperament. Like, I don't know why, but that's almost like more of a worry than anything else. That was cool. That was cool. And if you haven't looked at her channel, if you're watching mine, if you like what we do here, you'll like what she does there. Link in the description. So anybody that has some of our animals, trust me, I'll promote that all day long. So. One bag of the Nutrebeef, the Redmond trace salt, mostly because there's a tear in the bag. Hey, Share Bear. Are you going to calve this weekend? I mean, tick, 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 tick. Let's get a move on. I mean, that Dominion can't spend that much time in there. Yeah, and they have access to either one. They can get at the all-purpose Nutrebeef, or they can get at the Redmond, but I got a feeling they're gonna absolutely destroy what's in there. You got these guys. The cows are loving their corn silage. These girls inhale this stuff. It is like flipping candy. These guys are pretty used to it. So yeah, and that little chrome discussion we had earlier, let's revisit that. So here are the extremes on chrome. And when I mean chrome, I mean, like, you know, this, they would probably call that, you'd probably classify that as a star, like that as a star. Maybe a white face because it's a little bit bigger. You know, blaze, white face with goggles, blaze or white face with goggles. Okay, so you go from the extremes, and this is the same bull now. So we've got a mic drop, solid black. I think she has a little bit of white down by her on her belly. Okay, and then you've got this guy who is also a mic drop. You know, full white head, white on, a little white on the back, white on his legs. I think there's a white blotch on his side too, right? But his back legs, there's white all the way up, and you can see the white up there. So his mom, and here's the contrast. This is where things get crazy when you're talking about chrome and genetics, and honestly, the fun of Simmental cattle is you've got this dude, okay, with all this chrome out of a mic drop, okay? And then, where'd she go? She's right here, right? Hey, kiddo, come on. So this is our bold ruler heifer, all right? All of our bull rulers have been solid black, just like this one. But that heifer, and where'd he go? There he is. And then this steer, same mom. And that is Phantom, who's got that blaze that's off to the side. So mom's got chrome. So you got a chrome mom and a chrome dad. You're probably gonna get chrome. Most likely you're not gonna get a solid black animal. But then you get a solid black sire with a mom that's got chrome, not necessarily gonna get chrome. But you thought you would, because most of the time you probably would. It's probably like a 25% chance that she turned out solid black. I would have predicted a blaze or some kind of white on her face, but she didn't have it. Same with when we look at these two mic drop daughters. Solid black, solid black. Now, her mom is solid black and her mom is solid black. So it doesn't surprise me too much that they are solid black, but when you look at mic drop has quite the blaze on his face. I think it actually starts to go off to the side, and I'll try and put a picture in here, let you guys kind of see that. I don't know if I can get a front facing one. I know there's a really nice side profile picture of him. That one I do have, but I don't know if I have a front-facing picture. I'll try and find one. It is a flip of a coin whether or not you're going to get chrome or you're not going to get chrome. And like I said before, that's the fun of Simmental cattle. We were a little concerned when we first used Bruno on our purebreds. What are we going to get? Now, I will say, we have a couple that have chrome on them, and you end up with guys like that steer, who's kind of got the big blaze. He's kind of got the full blood look. He's got some white on his legs. He's got quite a bit of, almost a full white face. You'd swear he's just a bigger Black Baldy Hereford Angus cross or something like that. But the majority of our crosses, well, and not crosses, but the majority of the results from our full blood on our purebreds are guys like this. He's out of a full blood, solid red with just that little bit of white, solid black with a blaze. Oh yeah, that heifer over here, that's all the white she's got. I think she's got just a tick of white on her belly. But then you also get, where is he? You also get this dude over here. He's solid black. His only white is like literally a pink spot right on the corner of his nose. Like you could cover it with your finger. But these calves, last year's calves out of Bruno. Oh yeah, and then you got that guy back there. That's photos, like identical to photo. So again, the experiment with full bloods on our purebreds has turned out really, really nice. Because honestly, if they have too much chrome, we're gonna eat them anyways, or somebody will, and he'll taste just as good. Probably not the ones that we're gonna take to the sale barn, because sale barn guys, they do like, if you're gonna get them, if you're gonna sell them with chrome on them, they want the solid body. If it's chrome, they want a little bit of chrome on the face, but they want that solid body, kind of indicating what they think it is that it's like an Angus Hereford cross or something. But if you want a really good Black Baldy, then honestly you put a Fleck on your Angus cows, and those turn into some really nice calves. So I have seen quite a few examples of that with some of the guys that I follow that have Flecks and have put them on to Angus cattle. But yeah, just a little discussion of chrome. If you got Simmental, that's part of the allure of Simmental for me, honestly, is you're not always going to get the same animal. Especially when you play around with the colors a little bit. That's just, it's what makes it fun. At least fun for me. So, all right, it is Friday. It is the end of the day. So it is the end of the video. And I have rambled on for way too long. So I hope you guys liked the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions, by all means, please put them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because more calves are coming. We've actually had a little bit of a lull in calves, and I am waiting for a share. It's frustrating sometimes. But there will be a burst in the next few days, and we will be back on track and ripping and roaring, having about a calf every day or every other day. So yeah, please subscribe to the channel, follow along for more and more calf fun. And of course, thanks for coming along.